Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Bersama saya pagi ini, Puan Nur Fatia Muhammad bersiaran secara langsung dari Pita UiTM Kampus Puncak Alam melalui platform Facebook rasmi UiTM Pita Kampus Puncak Alam dan YouTube Perpustakaan UiTM. Terima kasih kepada para penonton yang mengikuti program ini. Saya mohon kepada semua penonton untuk kongsikan sesi live ini supaya lebih ramai penonton dapat bersama-sama kita pagi ini. Baiklah, saya mulakan dengan sedikit pengenalan diri saya. Saya Puan Nur Fatia binti Muhammad, pustakawan di Unit Penyelidikan, Pembelajaran dan Rujukan Pita Kampus Puncak Alam. Ingin saya war-warkan di sini, Pita UiTM Kampus Puncak Alam sedang mengadakan pertandingan video pendek bertemakan perkhidmatan perpustakaan yang berlangsung bermula 1 Februari 2022 sehingga 30 April 2022. Penyertaan adalah percuma dan hadiah lumayan menanti anda. Jangan lupa sertai pertandingan video pendek kami. Baiklah, untuk makluman tuan-puan, sebelum ini kita menggunakan sistem Prisma bagi modul penerbitan. Namun pada Mac 2022, sistem Prisma telah ditutup sepenuhnya dan digantikan dengan Prime, iaitu Portal for Research and Innovation Management. Oleh itu, modul tersebut boleh diakses di Prime yang mana lebih memudahkan kepada para penyelidik di UiTM untuk mendaftarkan penerbitan. Baiklah, tanpa membuang masa, saya memperkenalkan panel kita yang cantik molek hari ini, iaitu Puan Siti Rohayu binti Muhammad Yusof, pustakawan kanan di Unit Sokongan Penyelidikan Pita Kampus Shah Alam. Selain daripada itu juga, pihak kami juga telah menjemput wakil daripada RMC dan juga pejabat TNCPI iaitu Dr. Saiful Izzuan dan juga Puan Khairun Nisa bagi membantu pengesahan maklumat dan juga technical sistem Prime. Oleh itu, saya mempersilakan Puan Siti Rohayu bagi menyampaikan taklimat beliau. Dipersilakan Puan.
Okey, terima kasih kepada Nur Fatihah, moderator pada pagi ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terlebih dahulu saya ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada seluruh jawatankuasa di perpustakaan di Puncak Alam kerana telah orang kata berjaya mengadakan taklimat ini. Okey, walaupun dalam masa yang singkat perbincangannya, tetapi alhamdulillah dapat dilaksanakan juga pada hari ini. Saya juga ucapkan ribuan terima kasih juga atas komitmen yang diberikan oleh seluruh warga warga Selangor dan Puncak Alam atas orang kata kesediaan untuk join taklimat modul penerbitan sistem baru kita, sistem Prime yang kita baru secara officialnya pada seperti yang dimaklumkan oleh Puan Nur tadi 1 Mac 2022. Okey. So saya ucapkan terima kasih lah. Okey. So saya berharap tuan-puan semua dapat memberi perhatian kepada taklimat pada kali ini kerana ianya sangat-sangat penting bagi memudahkan perjalanan ataupun proses pendaftaran, orang kata pemahaman mengenai jenis penerbitan yang boleh didaftarkan di dalam sistem Prime dan bagaimana proses semakan verifikasi oleh koordinator PITA di sistem Prime lah. Okey, saya sebelum tu saya ingin doakan semoga kita semua dilindungi oleh Allah SWT. Kita faham situasi kita sekarang tapi alhamdulillah kita orang kata insya-Allah tak lama lagi akan beralih kepada satu lagi fasa yang insya-Allah akan orang kata memudahkan lagi perjalanan hidup kita semua berbanding dengan orang kata fasa pandemik sebelum ni lah. Okey. Walaupun kesesnya tu sekejap naik sekejap turun tetapi alhamdulillah kata ianya tidak kata teruk seperti fasa yang pertama dan kedua dan sebagainya lah. Okay, so saya tanpa membuang masa, saya ingin memperkenalkanlah, okay, walaupun Puan Nur dah perkenalkan tadi kan, mungkin ada kata pensyarah-pensyarah di sana yang tidak mengenali saya. Okay, so saya merupakan penyelaras koordinator PITA Prime untuk modul penerbitan. Okay, so jangan confuse ya, sebab di awal tadi Puan Nur ada mengatakan sistem Prime ni ada 4 modul utama di dalam sistem Prime sebenarnya, tetapi yang dipertanggungjawabkan kepada PITA adalah modul penerbitan. Okay, so apa tugas-tugas koordinator PITA ni untuk di dalam modul penerbitan ni? It's very easy, very straightforward, adalah kita sebagai koordinator yang membuat verifikasi. Kalau dulu maybe you dah pernah dengar perkataan validation, validate by, alright, so kita dah tukar sekarang, kita guna perkataan verify, verification by, alright, so it's the same thing, alright. So fungsi dan tugas kita adalah sama seperti tahun-tahun sebelum ni, alright. Saya pun kurang pasti sejak bila kita dah memulakan menggunakan sistem penerbitan daripada Prisma, tak salah saya daripada Prisma lah, awal berapa tahun dah, and then kita tahun ni kita move kepada satu sistem yang baru. Okay, walaupun kita move to a new system, actually the function sama, alright, fungsinya adalah, so yang ini saya nak tekankan, alright, ini yang saya tekankan bila saya beri taklimat mengenai sistem penerbitan ni, iaitu you need to understand, alright, the first thing that you need to understand, so if you want to register any publication, when it comes to publication, it means it's already published, alright, that's the terms that I want to stress to all of the researcher, alright, so everything need to be published first. Alright, everything need to be published first, then only you can register in Prime. Okay, sama dia punya function ni macam tahun-tahun lepas, sekiranya ianya tidak diterbitkan lagi, not yet published, meaning, alright, so maksudnya kita perlu tunggulah, you have to wait for the right time, alright, okay, selepas ianya telah diterbitkan, then only you can publish, alright. So okay, alright. And then satu lagi nanti saya akan share lah, from time to time saya akan share on how saya akan tunjukkan juga on how to use the Prime. Okay, I'm sure that I'm aware that maybe most of you already know how to use the Prime already, right? You know how to register your publications. It's just that the thing that I want to share with you today is something on how coordinator verify your publications, alright? And then I want to stress more about the types of publications that you can register in Prime. Okay, that's the most important one, alright? Okay, I try to share my screen now. I hope. Alright. Okay. Alright, let me get through. I hope you can see I cannot see anything right now. I'm not sure whether my presentations, you can see my presentation or not, but I hope you can see my presentation. Wait,
nampak Puan, nampak.
Nampak Puan, alright, okay.
Okay, clear.
Alright, so from time to time, I'm going to use my presentation, my slide presentation, but actually I prefer to use the Prime itself to make sure that you understand whatever that I want to tell you lah. Alright. So actually, the taklimat today is more to pendaftaran and verifications. Alright, pendaftaran and verification lah. Alright. So this is something that I always remind or just to acknowledge all the researcher out there. Alright. So kenapa proses validation ataupun verification sekarang terms yang kita guna diberikan kepada PITA, alright? Kita bukan maksudnya tiba-tiba nak verify your publication di dalam sistem Prime ataupun Prisma dulu, tetapi kita telah diberi tanggungjawab lah, okay? Punca kuasanya adalah dalam mesyuarat, @eu lah, bilangan 4 tahun 2021. Okay, alright, kalau you boleh tengok dekat skrin saya ni, bermula 1 Februari 2021, tugasan verification publication from all the lecturers in UiTM telah diberikan kepada PITA sepenuhnya. Alright, before this maybe some of you boleh ingat semula, before this we have coordinator in your faculty, right? So you have coordinator in your faculty, and then we have coordinator in PITA. So we slash that one layer so that from the registration itself, you can directly to submit to coordinator PITA so that we can verify your publication as soon as possible. Alright, so mungkin owner kepada sistem ni, RMC, berpendapat yang proses penjubudan kepada koordinator fakulti itu perlu untuk memastikan proses pendaftaran dan verification itu berlaku dengan secepat mungkin. Alright, I know everything you want to be fast, right? So we hope that and then we can see lah from the starting 1 February 2021, proses tu telah berjalan dengan lebih cepat. Alright, dulu ada 3 layers, right? 3 layers, and then we slash 1 layer, so that there's only 2 layers in between the researcher and coordinator. Alright, so alright, the second one is very, very important. The second one, maybe we have more than 8,000 lecturers in all over UiTM, right? So this one that I want to stress about, alright? Okay, perkeliling naik chancellor, alright, pelaksanaan proses pendaftaran. Okay, semua pendaftaran perlu didaftarkan sejurus diterbitkan, meaning you need to register your publication as soon as it's already published. Alright, so you don't have to wait like at the end of the year, alright, also or you need to wait for like 2 to 3 months, alright. So you need to understand sistem Prisma adalah some sort like repository. Ianya akan integrate dengan beberapa sistem di dalam UiTM. So dia akan ada integrate dengan MyATP, alright. The ATP nanti that's a one thing lah about MyATP, right? So MyATP, and then we have also expert UiTM. So you need to understand is primarily adalah repository. So you need to register all your publication in Prime so that all these other system in UiTM boleh integrate dan grab all your publication. Alright, so you don't have to wait like macam beberapa bulan then you nak daftar, alright? So you need to understand, macam contohnya all your publication di MyATP perlulah didaftarkan atau pelayan diberikan kepada tahun semasa. Tahun semasa, so all your publication in 2022 it should be registered in Prime until 30 December lah. Alright, 30 November. Alright. So kalau tengok sini, proses validasi PITA adalah dalam tempoh 14 hari bekerja. This one you need to understand, alright? So actually 14 hari bekerja dari tarikh you register. So in Prime nanti I akan tunjukkan, you akan nampak the dates of registration date, then you akan nampak the log from the registration until it already be verified by coordinator. So you boleh nampak perjalanan log your punya publication di dalam sistem Prime. So kalau macam dulu di dalam sistem Prisma we cannot see that. Alright, so we don't understand, and then kita pun cakap macam coordinator pun cakap macam we already verify your publication within 14 days, and then you said that no, you verified my publication after 14 days. We don't want that. Alright, so we improve in Prime. So we have log that you can see, I can see, so we can see the perjalanan proses verification your publication in Prime. Okay, alright. So 14 hari bekerja. Okay, some of you maybe akan tanya, Puan Ayu, sometimes it's too long 14 hari bekerja tu kan, 14 days tu sangat-sangat lama. Sometimes I need you verify to my publication as soon as possible because I'm ada perkara-perkara yang memerlukan tuan-puan semua untuk mensegerakan proses verification tu. Contohnya proses kenaikan pangkat. Kita faham proses kenaikan pangkat bagi pensyarah adalah macam sepanjang masa, and then kita faham juga mungkin ada yang dicalonkan untuk ataupun memohon untuk sebarang anugerah dan sebagainya. So that kind of situation kita akan masih okay. It doesn't mean that macam Puan Ayu tak boleh juga kan, tapi in that certain cases, yes, we can verify your publication as soon as possible. It's just that you need to contact your respective coordinator lah. For example, in Puncak Alam, we have Puan Nur Fatihah lah. So you just call her and then you ask pada Puan Fatihah, can you verify my publication because I'm apply for VK7 for example. Alright, so it's just that other publication, other matters that we need to obey with this perkeliling. Ini adalah perkeliling bulan 3 lah. Alright, so penerbitan yang diterbitkan dalam tempoh Januari anti Disember perlu didaftarkan selewat-lewatnya 30 November. Alright, this statement actually ada banyak pertanyaan. Since even last year already, all the lecturers kata macam it's not fair. What about my publication in December? Adakah publication bulan Disember akan dikira for the next year in January, or it is also can be counted in that particular year, for example 2021. So this kind of problem situation, what we call that. Alright, so we already last year we attend one session and then with RNC, and then we have a few departments lah, alright, to talk about this, to discuss about this matter. And then it's just that apa yang diputuskan di dalam perbincangan dan mesyuarat tersebut adalah kita perlu obey kepada sebab dia melibatkan kenapa kita pilih 30 November disebabkan untuk kita proses kita kenaikan gaji bila melibatkan other department, other matters, so that that's why perkara ini berlaku lah. Okay, so I hope that this matter akan going to be better. Akan ada something solutions or something. But currently memang kita akan stick to January until November. So all your publication from January until November for that particular year, you need to register as soon as possible. So all the publication in December can those who publish in December only can register their publication in December for that particular year. Alright. So and then the fourth one is hanya penerbitan diterbitkan pada bulan Disember. Yes, I mentioned earlier. Alright, didaftarkan pada bulan Disember. This one you need to understand. Okay, so I hope that this kind of information you can share with all your friends. Alright, so, I believe that tak semua orang tahu sebab since last year lagi, even dah kata dah throughout the end of the year, ada juga pensyarah yang kurang pasti mengenai macam mana proses jangka masa verification tu dijalankan. Alright, so this yang kenapa saya stresskan sebab perkara ini, sebab berlaku traffic jam. Kita boleh katakan traffic jam lah kan pada bulan 10 dan bulan 11 pada setiap tahun. Alright, so masa tu you nak clear your ATP dan sebagainya. So we need to make sure that all publication yang kita dah verify akan masuk ke dalam sistem ATP lah. So my ATP is something else. I cannot answer question on behalf of my ATP because it belongs to HEA. Alright, bagian akademik. So that one is another system, is another owner. It's just that, as I mentioned earlier, Prime is as a repository only. Okay, so you have to make sure that you register as soon as possible. Okay. Alright, so actually now we have 39 actually. We already have 39. So coordinator is not just Puan Nur Fatihah in Puncak Alam. We have 39 coordinator yang telah menjalani kursus. Alright, menjalani kursus, then only they can verify. Okay, it's not like regular librarian. You can ask her or him to verify it for you. It's lantikkan secara rasmi as coordinator, then dia melalui beberapa proses taklimat dan bengkel, dan only dia akan boleh verify kepada publication tuan-puan semua. Alright. So I'm going to show you on metadata. Alright, so this is very, very important parts. Alright, so actually maybe some of you already come across with this presentations, right? Maybe because we already did like 15 to 17 taklimat for all the lecturers for all over UiTM actually. Right, so this is very, very important. Now we have two types of publication in Prime. Macam dulu we have index and non-index, right? So this for Prime we have two types of publication. Alright, so we divide into two, which is index publication and other publications. Alright, so it's very straightforward. We want to make sure that everybody can understand what is the index, what is index publication, what is other publications. So index publication, we still stick to the previous one. Alright, so index publication definitely involve four types of publication platform, which is WAS, Web of Science, Scopus, MySite, and ERA. We still have these four platform. All right. So other than this, okay. So other than this, definitely are going to be in other publications. Okay. So that one I want to be clear with you. So jika tuan-puan semua ada publication di mana-mana 4 publication, which is Scopus, Web of Science, MySite, and ERA. If your publication is already indexed there, then only you can register as index publication. Other than that, you need to register in other publications. Okay? Alright, so let me show you. Right. So, okay. As you can see here, this is the main, what we call main front page of the Prime, right? So I believe that all of you already try to access to this Prime, right? And then because last 2 days, I still receive message, email, calls from the lecturer that asked me about Prisma. All right. So I hope that you are not belong to that group that did not know that Prime already replaced Prisma. Okay. So if you have friends that did not know about this, please can you just share with them that we already use Prime, the new system that replacing the Prisma. All right. So it's very easy. How to access to Prime is very easy. Okay, the user ID, use your staff ID, and then the password is your Web SSO password. So the password I cannot help you. You yourself create the password. Okay, so we are using the Web SSO. So if you have problem in to sign in to your Prime, please refer to the technical in you can make aduan NCT, and then you can refer to the Web SSO. Definitely you have to solve the Web SSO first, then only you can access to Prime. Okay, all right, so it's very easy. You can do it anywhere, anytime. All right, and then just sign in. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, there's a 4 main module in Prime. All right, but grant is not mine. Okay, IP is not mine. Ratings, star rating is not mine also. But we are going to show you on publications. Okay, kalau you tanya I pasal 3 modul lain, I tak tahulah. Alright, so kita akan fokus pada publication. Alright. Alright, as you can see here, this is the dashboard. Alright, so maybe ada yang setengah yang dah tengok dashboard dan sebagainya. Alright, so we have a new publication. You don't have this actually. You don't have this because I'm the administrator, so you don't have this. Alright, so what you can see is the publication part here. Alright, you have publication, you have new publications, you have my publications and written publication. So it's very, very important. All right, so for new publication, as I mentioned earlier, when you click new publication, if you want to register your publications, definitely you need to choose which one. Are your publication already indexed in Scopus, for example, or it is not yet indexed in Scopus? These two things are very, very common questions that being asked by the lecturers or researcher actually, because some of the publication in these four platforms, sometimes it takes times to be indexed. All right, I know that publication is already the journal or the sources is already indexed in Scopus. That's the thing that I always come across with all the questions by the researcher, right? She said that, for example, she said, right, Puan Ayu, this journal is indexed in Scopus. You can search this journal in Scopus, and then you can see the journal is already indexed. Is that all right? We understand that part of your journal is already indexed in Scopus, but we want an evidence. In Prime, I am not sure whether in other system in UiTM or other system in outside UiTM, but for Prisma, since Prisma and this Prime also, you need to come up with the evidence URL. URL is very, very important, so you need to understand. We need the evidence of URL that your title of publications, all right, your titles of publication are already indexed in Scopus. All right, we don't want any link for journal. We don't want any link to that particular journal. Sometimes we receive so many links actually. So I already educate all my coordinators to be a bit tedious. I'm not saying tedious. To be careful. Be careful on when you come across with this URL. URL, it means directly to the article in Scopus, for example. All right. We don't want any link for journal. Sometimes you give me a link for that particular journal in that particular journal's website. We don't want that. We don't want any journal website punya link. We don't want any that referring to journal. We don't want link to JCR. We don't want that. All right. We don't want. I will show you. Maybe some of you did not understand. I will show you later on how to search your publication in this four platform in index databases lah. All right. So when it comes to other publications, also is quite similar with other with index databases. All right, you need to understand that other than these four databases, it means it belongs to other publication. But you don't have to worry. Some of you maybe, Puan Ayu, what about the next month? My publications is already published. It's already indexed in Scopus. You can easily update your types of publication in Prime. All right. So you just change publication. Remember in Prisma dulu, all right, if you want to change your publication, your types publication from non-index to index, you need to delete it and then you need to register again, right? Remember? All right. So for Prime, we want to make sure that we simplify that steps. That is just that you change publication. There's a button. You can change publication and then you can change the publication immediately. All right. So why sometimes researcher definitely ask questions about, Puan Ayu, can benda tu tak boleh jadi like macam auto ke, like I know sometimes maybe you kata I need to like masukkan again all the data, right? It's very tedious, very macam remeh and everything, right? So it's just that you need to understand different types of publication definitely referring to different types of metadata. All right, so when it comes to the different types of metadata, definitely some of the metadata you need to fill up. All right, so it's not the same, right? From other publication to, for example, in journal, in Scopus, it's not the same. The metadata is not the same. All right, so that's why we just simplify in terms of you can change the types of publications. You yourself can change the types of publications. All right, and then what you can do is you just submit again after you do the checking and then update the URL and everything. So you can directly submit for verifications. Then only it will go to our pending list. So for your information, the screen coordinator, your publication yang you register, the publication that you already register, definitely it will go to all our pending list. That pending list coordinator akan verify as soon as possible. Alright. So the thing is coordinator pun dah upgrade di bahagian administrator. Maksudnya all the publication yang hampir ataupun dah melebihi 14 hari dia akan bagi dia akan ada macam some sort like notification so that in red color so that we know that okay, that publication is already exceed the times of 14 days. So we definitely will verify as soon as possible. All right. So currently we don't have any questions, Puan Nur kan? We don't have any question, right? So if you want, if they want to ask any question, they can type in the chat box, I think. Right? Betul ke Puan Nur?
Kalau untuk soalan nanti kita buka sesi last ke atau macam mana? Atau
Alright,
kita selit je?
maybe kita buka
Kalau boleh
last.
selit teruslah.
Yes, if you want to ask questions and then require my answer like immediately, you can ask, or else you can wait until end of the sessions lah. Alright, so
Betul?
I would love to hear all the
Ada soalan Puan.
ada ya.
Daripada Franilla Francis. Salam nak tanya, sekiranya sama tajuk tapi keluar di tempat yang berbeza pada tahun berbeza, adakah dibenarkan untuk enter semula dalam Prime?
Alright, so the first thing that I want to ask is that publication is already registered in Prisma? That's the first that I want to ask. Alright, if that publication is already in Prisma, for example, now we just choose just now you said different year, is it? Puan Nur tadi dia bagi tahu different year.
Different year, tapi dibenarkan tak nak masuk dalam Prime balik?
Okay. Different year in different platform.
Yes.
Okay, alright. So in different platform. Okay, in Prisma dulu, alright. Kalau you boleh ingat lah, Prisma you can register you are possible to register. For example, it is indexed in Scopus, you can put the URL. If it is indexed in WAS, yes, you can also mention also, or you can already declare in WAS. But for Prime, we need to choose the highest one. All right. So if your publication, the highest one is indexed in Scopus, all right. So indexed in WAS with the quota. So you need to choose the quota. Right. But for this case, that's why I want to ask whether this publication is already registered. I believe that it is already registered. It's just that she want to
Re-register.
Register that title again in other platform actually.
Yes.
And then there's one questions also that I want to ask. because here we need to be very, very, I need to ask questions, a big question, all right. And then we have to make sure that I know that it's the same title, but are those the same things, ataupun is it being upgraded, the content itself, or it's just that it's the same thing, everything is the same thing, it's just that you just publish in other publication. So I think for Prime, kalau saya tak salah lah, mungkin kalau ada Dr. Saiful dekat sini, maybe I boleh ada second opinion ataupun Puan Karinisa, but I believe that we can only register for that particular title sekali saja, once in Prime lah. So definitely memang you need to choose the highest one lah. Okay, kalau benda tu di upgrade di WOS, then you can register semula lah. Alright. So I hope that I answer the questions. Alright. So if you have any more questions to me, Doktor apa tadi?
Francisca rasanya nama dia tadi.
Right, Dr. Francisca, if you have any further question or you don't satisfied with my answer, you can directly contact me later. Alright. Okay, because I think when it comes to it's the same title that you want to register, I think I need to clarify a few information with you. Alright. Okay, ada lagi?
Ada lagi soalan?
You have any questions?
Okay, daripada Dr. Razana Johaida Johari. Salam Puan, link URL untuk artikel Scopus dan Web of Science masih perlu melalui easy access?
Yes, definitely going to be easy access. All right. So from here, I can see. All right. So for those who are published in Scopus, Web of Science, these two databases definitely need to go through easy access library. All right. This is very, very important. Maybe some of you, I know, Puan Ayu, we know, we know, but some of us didn't know. All right. So maybe some of us yang not very sure, because we still receive URL link from direct Scopus. For example, here we do have Scopus, all right. So sometimes they type Scopus, all right, they go here. So we don't want that. This is not in our subscriptions, all right. Our subscription is in our all right. But Scopus is not our subscription. This one memang kita all over University in Malaysia memang KPT lah, Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi yang subscribe under consortium lah. So we get it for free, this one. Alright. So it's just that yang kita subscribe adalah WOS, Web of Science. Alright. So I will show you one more time, and then you can refresh your information about this on how to search for your publications in Scopus and Web of Science, and then you can share with your friends. All right, so maybe some of your friends don't know how to search for their publications in Web of Science. All right, it's very, 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 very simple. Okay, you just go to library.uitm.edu.my. All right, this is the main page. All right, so now we just click here login. Go to login, because now we use single sign-on, right? Alright, so you just click here to log in, and then you can click sign in with Google. This one directly will connect to your email, UITM's email. Okay, and then definitely you have your own profile, and then your own this one is called single sign-on. Alright, so all the system, all the what we call services in library, we have been in here lah. Alright, so you click under E. Alright, so under E, easy access library, you click this one, and then it will lead you to this page lah. Alright, so maybe some of you, ala Puan, is sometimes you punya jalan tu like panjang sangat lah. Alright, so can we have like shortcut or anything? Alright, we do have a shortcut. Alright, you just type easy access library.uitm.my, then definitely you can get to this page actually. Yes. All right, we trying to actually library people try to help the researcher to get the information as soon as possible. as simple as possible actually. All right. So as you can see here, this page under UITM e-resources collection, we do have online database, ebooks, and so many more. All right. So you just click online database, it will lead you to this page. All right. So all our databases, not only Web of Science or Scopus, definitely, all the publications sort into alphabetical. So you can go under W to access to Web of Science, or you can click S to access to Scopus. Alright, so I dah buka kat sini. Right, so we have Scopus, and then we have Web of Science. Alright, so from here, what are you going to do? It's very easy. Just search for your title. All right. So that's the thing that I want to show to you, how easy it is to access to our online databases. All right. So it's easy for you to identify whether your publication is already indexed in Scopus or not. And also, this one is just a bonus for you. So you can identify your profile. You can check your IDs, right? So for those who already published in Scopus, insyaAllah definitely akan ada Scopus ID lah. So for those who already, they have their Scopus ID, they have their researcher ID, and then their Google Scholar ID. This Google Scholar is something else lah, alright? So I'm not going to touch in here because Google Scholar is got nothing to do with the Prime, alright? So it's just that in Web of Science and Scopus, right? So from here, for example, Scopus, alright, we have documents, author affiliations, alright? If you want to search for any documents, alright, you may type your title here, alright? You type title here, for example, right? So COVID, for example, all right? So, or else you can go by author. You can go by your name, or else you can go by affiliations. Affiliations meaning you go by UITM, you can go by any organizations that you want. I think that is not necessary lah. But the thing is, you can use these two types of searching, which is documents and authors. All right. So, for example, here I want to search for my title. All right, so I want to check whether it is indexed or not because it already has been 6 months or since I already published in that particular journal. So I want to check. All right, so as you can see here, from here you can identify your publication, or else you can directly type your title there. Right. So, but be careful. Sometimes if you just copy paste or the typing your title, sometimes I said sometimes you cannot get your article. Maybe you can go by the journal. All right. You can go by the journal by clicking here, right, sources. You can go by journal and then directly to your articles. All right. It's biasalah kan, like we need to bear with this kind of situation in any databases actually. Sometimes the use of and, the symbols and everything, it counted as something else, all right? So we want to make sure that we get to the publication as soon as possible lah, all right? So you can go by your subject area or you can go by ISSN. So if you want to search for your journal, definitely I recommend you to use the ISSN. ISSN is like IC number for that particular journal. So definitely it going to open to that particular journal. It's not something else. All right. That's why registration number, ISBN number is something that a very, very compulsory metadata that you need to include in your registration. All right. Especially for index databases, for index publication. For those who are published in index publication, I believe that 99% definitely are going to have the ISSN, ISBN, or any registration number. When it comes to, I said that any registration number, it referring to other publications actually. Sometimes if you publish in newspaper, in magazines, sometimes they do not have the ISBN or ISSN. They have their own types of registration number. That one also you can use to include in your evidence. All right. So, okay, one more time, yeah. How to search in Scopus? Very easy. This one also you can try to search for any publications, right? Okay, from here, right. All right. For example, this is my publication. Okay, I just click this publication. All right. So, okay, dalam masa yang sama, I think I should try to do some do one example with you. All right. So, for example, I said COVID. All right. So, when it comes to this, let me try to do index first. All right. So, how to register your publication? Actually, I'm not the one who going to touch more on the registration part, because of the thing that I want to show you is more to types of publications. Actually, it's okay. I just do one example for you. Right. For example, all right, so check similarities. All right, so as you can see here, check similarities definitely. See, your publication title 76.92 is with existing records, and you may proceed with reduce register lah. So kalau you ada dapat this 76, you can still proceed lah. Alright. So but if you come across with these 99.9 similarities, you don't have to worry. Alright. So you have to make sure that the first thing that you need to ask yourself is whether this publication, you and for example, you do it with your co-authors and everything. So you need to make sure that your name is already mentioned in that particular title. So for those who register your publication, any publication in Prime, make sure that if you are involved in that particular publication, you have to make sure your name is there. All right, so they register your name also. Sometimes we come across with these duplicate titles of publication because of their name is not mentioned for those who are registered the publication. So you have to make sure that if you involve in that publication, you have to make sure that your name is registered. All right, so this one I just proceed. For example, all right, so for example, I choose this one. I said Scopus. All right, choose publication is journal. Then only I need to fill up of this metadata. Unfortunately, for system baru ni, system Prime, we still have to fill up all the metadata manually. All right, manually. I'm sure that last year we are talking about can we integrate with Web of Science, Scopus, so that we no longer can do the clerical part manually, key in the metadata. Maybe in future we try to do it in future, right? But currently we still have to, you have to do it manually, right? So you don't have to worry. There's an example here as a guide for you, so you know what types of metadata that you need to fill up. So when you come across this star, the red color, meaning it is compulsory. What happened if you did not put any metadata, or you just ignore that the one in red color? You cannot proceed. That's the thing in Prime yang I think that we must do that, all right, because of we want to make sure that you register correct metadata and then you fulfill the criteria of any publications, all right, so that it can be verified by coordinator. Okay, all right, just fill up the all the metadata, all right, and then the most important part is the URL. We are talking about URL just now, right? So if you have to URL, okay, this is the more common mistakes by the researcher. All right. Sometimes, what are you? I already give you the URL. What else that you want from me, right? What URL that you want from me, right? So I give you already URL. So you need to understand when the coordinator receive your publication and they try to click that URL, it will lead you to, it will not lead you, it will not lead to that particular title. All right, it will lead to somewhere else. It should be here. For example, this is my publication, for example, right? So this is my publications. We do have all the um, metadata here. You can get it from here and then you can copy paste to your Prime, and then the URL is here, the blue color. Please take note this one. The blue color, this part is the URL that we need. This is the very correct way to get the URL. All right, so you just copy paste this one. Very easy, copy paste je. All right, very easy, copy paste. I know sometimes it's going the URL is going crazy here, but it is will lead you to the correct title. So it will help the coordinator to check your publication. Ni lah, cepat lah kan. When we have the URL, so you just coordinator akan klik, then dia akan terus dapat kepada this screen. Alright. So what happened if you didn't give us any URL that referring to your particular title? So coordinator terpaksa lah try to search here and there to make sure your publication is already indexed lah, especially for those yang di index publication. Right. So what happened? Sometimes ada juga kita terima yang bagi kepada coordinator dan link kepada that particular journal. We don't want, please take note this one, no URL from here, no URL from the journal, okay, and what else? No URL from the, what we call, for example, Brazilian Journal in Biology in if you search in Google lah, alright. Sometimes dia akan pergi directly for kepada jurnal berkenaan kan, so we don't want that. Alright, so for example this one, right? So we don't want here, alright, we want only from Scopus. Okay, alright. So and then one more thing, kita tak nak URL from your profile. This also some of the common mistakes done by the researcher. Dia akan bagi kita link kepada profile. Right, you just need to click for that particular title and then you can get the URL because it's different URL. Alright, so it's different URL. Kenapa penting sebenarnya URL? Mesti ada yang cakap, is it important, Puan Rahayu? You can search dekat Scopus, right? And then you can get my paper, you can get my publications there. It is very, very important because bila ada audit, especially audit Mahira, definitely dia akan tengok kepada link yang researcher masukkan. Right, that's the one that very good. And then for those who coordinator who verify your publications also involved in this, orang kata this matter lah. Alright, so for those who are verify your publication, definitely dia akan click that particular URL to make sure that then only auditor akan cakap, oh alright, okay, betul. This coordinator A telah verify lecturer A punya publications. Okay, it show that that publication is already indexed in Scopus with the correct URL. Itu atas keperluan itu yang kita perlukan URL. Okay, pembuktian as an evidence to show your publications. Alright, so it goes same goes with your publication in WAS. It's the same one. Alright, so you just type any your publication. Alright, you can go by document or you can go by your name. Alright, so it's very important also. Alright, so you can choose either one lah. Alright, or whether you can go by documents or you can go by researcher. Here also you can try, maybe some of you did not aware with your profile in Web of Science and Scopus. Yeah, believe me. Alright, so because some of the researchers sometimes they ask questions about can I know whether apa ni I ada tak researcher ID. So I pun surprise how you macam mana you tak tahu you ada researcher ID kan. Alright, so researcher ID in WAS definitely you need to create lah. Alright, so sekarang dia ada dengan Pablon's account, right? So you need to create a profile in a way to make sure that all the publications under Web of Science akan ada dalam dia punya profile lah. But Pablon sekarang dia akan compile also outside Web of Science, so dia akan compile in your profile so that it can you can advertise yourself out there, so you can attract more potential collaborators or potential authors that interest in your subject area. Alright, so for example here, okay, I click search. It's very easy. For example, this is my publication. Just click your publication. Okay, this is the where we want to you give us, right? So you need to give us this one, all right? So the same goes with Scopus, same goes with Web of Science era. No, I will show you era later, all right? So from here, so you just click here URL. The blue color is the URL that we want, all right? So the URL that you want. We don't want any goes with journals, all right? We just have to click the journal to check the quota. All right. So what coordinator akan semak if you declare in your publication. Okay, this is very, very important also. I want to clear the rumors and everything, right? So some of the researcher mungkin ada yang a bit confused, okay, about quartile, right? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. For prime, in UITM, I'm not saying other university, but in UITM, for quartile, we are referring to for those who publish in WAS only. For those who publish in Web of Science. Okay, as you can see here, right? For example, if you choose Web of Science, definitely you have the Medan di sini, dia ada sections, the quota ranking. This one you need to. Tapi kalau we can see, okay, if I change the to Scopus, alright, so the quota is not going to be there, alright. So we improvise the system, semua all the medan-medan di dalam sistem Prime so that tak ada confuse. Kalau in Prisma you confuse, right? Sometimes you put quartile in Scopus. Okay, for quartile in Scopus we don't have that. Shingmago quartile untuk sistem Prime, untuk sistem penerbitan UiTM kita hanya mengiktiraf quartile from JCR, Journal Citation Report, for those who are published in WAS only. So how to check whether your journal is already in ada quartile ke tidak? You may refer to this. Alright, so ada something lagi from here. Alright, so as you can see, you go back to the resources part di dekat easy access ni. So you click under J, you may refer to Journal Citation Report. By using this Journal Citation Report, you can also, not only you can check the quartile for your journal, you can also check other other journals that you might want to try to submit your paper there. So that's an information. For example, I go for Lancet, right? Okay. So actually, many people, many lecturer and researcher ask about JCR. Okay, some of them did not understand what is JCR, what is the significance of using JCR and so on, right? So usually we educate all the researcher on how to use JCR, right? What's the importance of JCR, and then how to use it. All right. So for example, here I just do one searching for you. All right. So from here you can get all the informations about that particular journal. This information will help you to publish definitely in a better place lah. Right, so you can get all the performance, the what we call you get to know the publisher, the JCI, total publications. All right, so from here, right, so you can get the quota. Usually we take sometimes the quota, sometimes because it referring to the categories, usually we take the highest category lah. The highest one lah. Sorry, it's not the highest category, it's the highest quota. For example, here we have quarter 1 and quarter 2, definitely we go for quarter 1. All right. So I'm sure that the quota things is something that are going to reflect to many things in other system in YTM. All right. I'm not sure in my ATP. Definitely it will. I mean, the weightage is going to be different and everything. So that one is my ATP. All right. And then it's just that I want to educate you on how to identify your quota in WAS. All right. So from here, after you fill up all the information, you can click save, right? For example, here, okay, just click save. I cannot click save. I have to choose. All right, full paper. All right. So types of journal. Types of journal. There's 2 types of journal. We accept full paper definitely, and we accept abstract only. Alright. So sometimes you hanya publish kepada abstract. Still we accept that as index publications. Alright. But you need to give us a full paper in abstract lah. Alright. So you need the evidence also. The part evidence I'm going to chat later lah. Alright. So what is the time? It's already 11. Alright. So I have like 1 hour more. Is it correct? One. Puan Nur?
Ya betul.
12 lah. I can talk until 1, believe me. Alright. Okay. Alright, so you just fill up the name. Alright, okay. For example, clarify. Okay, it's referred. Yes, you already put the URL. DOI. Where to get the DOI? This one also some of the researcher quite confused. It's got what is DOI? Where can I get DOI? Why it's not the same with this? Sometimes you might confuse the DOI with the URL. Believe me, I have received so many publications that they fill the DOI section with the URL. DOI is not URL. All right, so it's identifier, but it is not URL. So you need to clarify with that information. All right, you need to make sure that you know what is DOI, you know what is URL. It's not referring to the same things. All right. So as you can see here, right, this is example of DOI. All right. So just copy. All right. Just copy paste. It is involved something that I mean, like very something like very like, I had to fill this, I had to fill up all this kind of metadata, right? And then sometimes it tends to do mistakes, all right? So I'm not saying that actually we cannot accept that as something that what we call meaning we have to bear. We have to bear with this kind of mistake. But it is okay, all right? It doesn't means that if you register, when it comes to coordinator want to verify your publication, when you do mistake, and then we just let you to do mistake, and then we just verify your publications. No, it's not going to be like that, all right? It's not going to something that I can forcefully like verify your publications. In System Prime, we already upgrade. Maksudnya, if you didn't meet the requirement, you cannot proceed. You cannot proceed here. You cannot proceed there. I mean, maybe some of you that already use the Prime and already registered publication and receive the return for correction. I think we know what we talking about, right? So anything mistakes that you did, all right, any informations that we want more from you, all right, for example, your evidence is not that very, and sometimes the evidence is not very clear, the evidence is not It's not enough. It's not enough. I mean, it's enough is something that very, very subjective, right? I know sometimes, oh, Puan Rayu, I already submit the PDF for you, all right? Sometimes the PDF that we receive is not the one, the publication version. You know what I mean? Right, the publication version. Sometimes in manuscript, it's still in the manuscript. I already received a few manuscript like with the corrections, right? So we don't want that kind of evidence. We want some things that very solid, very it already published. So you know what I mean, right? So did not give us some things that is not completed yet. All right. So did not complete it yet. All right. So uh, after we receive your publication and then we find out that you need to do corrections, definitely you are going to do correction. We return your publication and then there's an email notification, all right? As you can see here, for example here, you will receive this kind of, it's not this kind, all right? You will receive this email actually. Email notification from the system. It actually is auto. Once we click return for correction, my coordinator will return for correction, then it will lead to your email. Okay, so always check your emails. All right, or okay, whether you check your email or you can go here, return publication. All right, so when return publication, also I don't have any return publication yet. All right, so you may check your publication that already been written to you here. All right, so it's very easy. New publication for your registration, to register new publication, my publication to see all your publication that already verified by the coordinator, and written is all the publications that written by coordinator. All right, so that's why I encourage all the researcher to like every single day you need to check your prime, especially when you register new publications, so that uh, as soon as it is published, you register your publication and then coordinator can verify as soon as possible. Actually, all the coordinator hate to return for correction. Actually, we want to verify your publications, but we ask for your consideration, we ask for your understanding to why we need to return your publications, why you need to do a corrections. So you need to uh, meet all the requirements, right? All the requirements in prime, you kena mematuhi all the garis panduan, you kena mematuhi perkeliling dan sebagainya, so that then only your publication can be verified. All right, so no problem if you register all your metadata, and then if it's already indexed, you declare as indexed, no problem. If it is not indexed yet, you register in other publication, no problem. All right, so if your publication dah upgrade to index, dah publish dekat dah appear di Web of Science, dah appear in my site, you can always change the types of publications and then submit again for validation. Kita upgrade your status from other to index publications. Alright, as soon as possible. Cepat you identify, cepat kita verify your publication. Okay? Alright, so just now I already show you on how to search in Web of Science, how to search in Scopus. Alright, one more thing. For those who are published in my site, this is some things that very, I receive so many questions about my sites actually. All right, so the first thing that I want to declare, this is a disclaimer for you, all right? My site is not mine, it's not UiTM's, it belongs to bahagian Pusat Citasi dan Infometrics, Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi, KPT punya sistem lah. Actually, it works like a Scopus and Web of Science. It is index body. See, Malaysian Citation Index, definitely it will index all the publications. All right. So as I aware that we have journal UiTM, right? We have like more than 50s. We have 50s, 58 currently, I think 58, right? And they keep coming lah. Akan ada lagi journal UiTM yang akan registered in UiTM. Right. So all the journals in your faculty, after this you check all your journal. All right. So for those who are always or you need to publish in your journal in your faculty. All right. So all the journal akan dimasukkan di dalam, first dia akan register di dalam my journal. Don't confuse, alright? So ramai juga yang a bit confused. Alright, my journal also is one of the KPT's system lah, alright? So these two like two sisters, right? Okay, definitely you need to upload all the public. It's not you lah, it's not you, it's us actually, alright? So in PITA also we are responsible to upload all the article that all the UiTM's journal publish lah. Alright, so I believe that semua publication, semua journal kita upload, ada a few yang kita tak upload because of that particular journal sendiri yang nak upload. They have their own indexer, so they can upload on their own in my journal. So every single time you publish dekat journal you publish at your journal, I ada staff yang akan masukkan dalam my journal. My journal is like a repository. So definitely dia akan duduk dekat sini dulu, all the journal, and then selected yang akan go through the penilaian process, alright, and then it can be indexed in Scopus. It can be indexed in my site. So if you want to check whether your publication is already indexed in my site, alright, so kita pun ada sekarang ada 24 UiTM journal, tak salah saya lah, UiTM journal yang telah berjaya di index dalam my site. You can check from here, alright. So you just type in my site .mohe.gov.my. So kalau you publish dekat journal faculty, right, you may check here, alright. So but there's a but here, alright. So unfortunately, alright, I need to say this, alright, because this is the KPT's system. I don't have any control with this system, alright. It's just that we need you to refer this system, alright. So we don't have any control whatever happens in this system. Sometimes it's an error, for example here, right. So I try to, actually this is something that see, I cannot get the I cannot get through the the article itself. For example here, right? So all your article will be here lah. All right. So after this, you can check with your your faculty journal. All right. So you click. See, I cannot. This one is actually kita dah maklumkan since last year. I am not sure what happened. But you don't have to worry. Mesti ada yang cakap. So what are you going to do, Puan Raya? We cannot declare as index publication in my site because of the problem, this error and everything. Or we need to wait until this problem is resolved. No, you don't have to do that. All right. So we just have, for those who already know that their journals is already indexed in my site, all right. So you don't have, currently we don't require you to give us an URL, all right. But if you can see here, all right, the publication, for example here, let me see, right? So because the URL for my site is compulsory, yes, all right, for example here, all right, because the URL, Scopus you need URL, Web of Science you need URL, but for my site also you need URL. Era sahaja yang tak perlukan ERA, you don't have to give us any URL lah. ERA is just that you just mention the ISSN, and then we can check in ERA, and then when we identify the ISSN, it is considered as published in index. All right. So for example here, go to my site. All right. So my site also, it is compulsory. You cannot proceed. You cannot proceed to the next stage if you did not put any URL. So what are you going to do? Alright. So say mesti ada yang cakap, Raya, so kita nak letak URL apa? Alright. Takkan nak letak macam ABCD macam ni kan? Muka Raya letak ni. Takkan letak macam ni kan? Right. So what I encourage my researcher usually is because of these problems and everything, you can you may put the URL, for example, from here, or you can put URL from here. You should try. It's just that you don't have to worry. First, you need to identify whether this journal is already indexed. Okay, and then you just mention your journal, and then coordinator akan semak lah, double check to verify. Di sinilah kerjanya coordinator to verify whether your publication diterbitkan atau tidak. Alright. So when it comes to, for those who are published in other journals in other university, alright, mesti ada kan? Alright, so maybe some of you already published in other universities journal. So when it comes to other universities journal, you can check also in my site, no problems. Alright. So maybe some of you come across with these problems. You check that particular journal is already indexed, yes, it's there already, but that particular volume and issue is not there yet. Alright, this is the common questions by the researcher. Okay, it's just not that other university journal, maybe our journal, maybe I yang upload lambat. Alright, for example, I yang upload lambat, so you cannot see your publication there. Alright, so you cannot see publication. What are you going to do? Okay, Puan Rahayu, please upload as soon as possible. I cannot get the URL. So what I can do is, when it comes to UiTM's journal, it is in my control. I can upload as soon as possible. But believe me that untuk di dalam perkeliling 3 tadi tu, perkeliling 3 perkeliling 3 21 tadi, Naik Chancellor tadi, tadi I ada cut down the part prime kan dengan Prisma dulu, but there's another part di mana Pita bertanggungjawab untuk memuat naik dan input metadata ke dalam sistem My Journal untuk semua jurnal-jurnal UiTM di dalam masa 30 hari, bukan dalam masa 30 hari, 30 hari bekerja selepas ianya diterbitkan. For example, you punya journal faculty publish on March, okay, 1st March of 2022. So within 1 month, Pita try to upload. It's not try, we need to upload. Actually, we must upload your new volume and issue as soon as possible in my journal so that it can be appear in my site. I'm talking about the journal that indexes my site only, okay? Not all the journal. I mentioned earlier, we have more than 50 journals in UiTM, right? But only like 20 index in my site. All right. So what that we are going to do is if UiTM journal is in my control, I can do it as soon as possible. When it comes to other journals publications in other university, mesti ada yang cakap macam tu, kalau saya publish di journal UUKM lambat lah Puan Ayu. No, we are not going to be unfair with you, right? So for those who are the journal kita find out that volume and issue is not published yet, it's not appear yet in my site or in my journal, we can accept. Kita dah macam dengar RMC dan sebagainya, we can accept that your publication is just that you cannot give us the URL. We just give disebabkan it is compulsory section in Prime. So you just give us the URL, for example here. Okay, the blue color. Alright. So make sure I punya coordinator pun akan double check whether it is indexed by my site or not. Alright. It's just matter of uh, it's not your publications is not there yet. It's not the same with Scopus Web of Science. Web of Science and Scopus I cannot control. Alright, I cannot control. Kena ada. It is appear then only. But it is my site because of these problems only. Okay. Bila problems ni dah resolve and everything, we are go back to normal life. Alright. We are going back to normal. Definitely you need to provide us an URL. Okay. Alright. So insyaAllah from time to time until these problems dah resolve, kita akan maklumkan pada semua pensyarah lah. Alright. But we did everything that we could actually. Mesti ada jangan untuk why you tak take an action ke? We do take an actions actually. But the thing is it's beyond our control. Alright? It's beyond our control. But the thing is we want to help you. Alright? We need to verify your publication. We believe that when we declare in my site, definitely will help you. Okay? I hope this my site things were very clear with you. All right, for those who publish my site, I believe that because my site, most of the lecturer maybe not all of you, all of us. It's not all of you. It's all of us. It's not all of us can were able to publish in Web of Science or Scopus. So sometimes my site is something that please maintain my site so that it can be still in as declared as index publication. So for now, for this year, it's still counted as index publication. So don't have to worry. Okay. So I hope that we pray that this kind of things will resolve as soon as possible. All right. So the other thing is ERA. ERA, no URL, no problem. All right. ERA, you just give us the ISSN. For example, here, you can check by the title, the journal, or you can check by ISSN. But I mentioned earlier, the first one I already mentioned, ISSN is the correct one. No, tak ada salah-salah lagi. Alright, so you just go for URL, for example, see? After we, coordinator akan double check this one only. Alright, so we check, okay, this your ISSN, the title is there. It is, we can verify this one as index publication. Okay, all right. So why is it 2018? We still use the 2018 because of the new list in 2020. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2023. Are going to be out in 2023. The new list, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but we still have to refer this list of 2018. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, you can ask later. All right. Okay, from here. All right. So I will, okay, for example, after you fill up all the publication, okay, one more thing that very important, the author's part here. The author's part here. All right. So author, please, if you are the one who responsible to register on behalf of your friends, all right, please add all the authors. All right. So sometimes some of the researchers did not know that when it comes to the publication, the authors, you need to include everybody. It is whether it is UITM staff, okay, you add UITM staff. Okay, UITM, okay, research officer, you add as research officer, and then we have postdoc, your students. Maybe you do it with your students. You can add your students also. All right, and then
Puan Ayu.
Yes.
Ada satu soalan daripada Profesor Madya Dr. Hilwati Hashim.
Yes.
Salam Puan, it may take months for the link to be available in Web of Science or Scopus. Please advise on how to proceed with registration in Prime if link is not available yet.
All right. So, okay. Easy question. Okay,
Yes.
very easy question. All right. Yeah, as I mentioned, I think I already mentioned about this one. All right. So any index publications, all right, I believe that sometimes if you involve in Web of Science and Scopus, you need to bear with the embargo periods and everything. So sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes 1 year. We do have something that goes like years, right? So we aware with that kind of situations, all right. So but in prism in prime, we are encourage you to register as other publication first, all right. So you register as other publication first, then only after sometimes it is indexed in Scopus or Web of Science, you can um, change the publication. Okay, for example, I will give you one example. All right. So for one example, so okay, first, this one is other. Okay, all right. So when it comes to, all right, so I will give what. How are we going to do? If we find out that it is already indexed. Okay, for example, now you already register as other publication. Okay, kan sekarang dah macam, alamak tak boleh lah. Now you have to, you need to register as other publication. Okay, so all your publication they akan appear like this. Right, so this is my publications. Alright, so uh, this one draft kan, all right, we don't have any examples of me, all right. So what are you going to do is, all right, here je, all right, for example here, change publication, right. So you click here. So I show you on how to upgrade your publication after you already find out that your publications dah ada dekat Scopus or Web of Science or My Site or Era or empat platform ni, alright. So from other, okay, you change to index publications, you choose where the platform is, and then okay, journals, and then remarks. Okay, kita akan it just say index in words. Remark, it can be anything, you can write anything, alright. And then I change lah, for example. So definitely dia akan like ada this pop-up. This kind of pop-up will ask questions to us to whether to make sure that you confirm with your action. So your publication status will be changed to draft. Okay, sebab I need draft tadi kan, alright. So dia akan change to draft, alright. So why is it? Okay, it just that it doesn't matter that my publication draft tadi kan, so they can change to draft again. So for example, you register your publication now as other publications, and then you change publication, you take an action just now, and then it will revert to draft. Why is it revert to draft? Definitely you need to revert to draft, enable you to update the URL or update the metadata. After you update the metadata, you say, okay, Web of Science, put the URL, and then you update the data, and then you declare one more time, you declare here, or you submit, change the attachments, submit submit the declaration, and then verification. Alright, so it will go to coordinators list, pending list, and then will he or she will verify your publication as index publications. So doctor, for time being, I am so sorry to say that if your publication it is not indexed yet in Scopus of Web of Science or other index platforms, definitely it will go to other publication first. But you don't have to worry. Once it's already indexed, you can change the types of publications. If you have any problems, you can contact your respective coordinator. If problems get bigger, you need to do the other one. All right. Sometimes I cannot solve everything, especially the technical part. So the things that since kita pun fahamkan sistem prime adalah sistem baru, so give Prime sometimes to adjust, right? And then we also want to adjust ourselves with the new system and everything. Maybe a few months it will get better. Sometimes sekarang ni mungkin dia a bit slow when you click and then slow and everything. So from maybe just give us sometimes lah, right? Maybe a few months it will get better. Right? And then also if you have any penambahbaikan, any suggestions, do submit to us. Do tell us, and then some things that we can discuss. I'm not the one who is going to I just receive all your aduan or suggestions, but definitely it will goes to RMC. Honor the system. Honor the system. RMC will definitely do something or make decisions on something. All right. But please, as a user, you as a user, as a researcher, definitely you find something that perlukan penambahbaikan. It can be upgrade, it can be changed, it can be simplify everything. Do submit your suggestion to us. Definitely, we want to make sure that you enjoy when it comes to do the registration. Jangan stress, okay? Alright.
Okey, ada lagi kot satu lagi soalan
Okay.
daripada Iza Hassan. Kenapa library tidak memudahkan penerbitan dengan menerima sahaja link yang diberikan as long as ada proof penerbitan dalam index publication, sebab umum diketahui bahawa untuk artikel tersebut diterbitkan ke dalam Web of Science atau Scopus memang mengambil masa yang lama untuk dapatkan link dalam Web of Science dan Scopus.
Okay, alright. This question actually quite similar with the previous questions.
Yes.
This question received every single year actually, since I've been in charge for this system for the third year. Alright, so actually we receive also even kita dengan RMC pun aware this kind of something yang researchers selalu cakap, please write. It is not something, especially for those who are published at the end of the year. Alright, when it comes you publish at the end of the year tu, you submit and then perlukan masa, and then sometimes it's not that easy, right? In Scopus and assign memang sometimes minimum 6 months kan. So we understand that actually kita faham, and then it's not kita make the decision to accept or not to accept your publication. Okay, this one I want to make sure, I want to be clear with you. Alright, Pita just a coordinator. We still need to obey to the perkeliling and garis panduan, because in the perkeliling and garis panduan already mentioned your publication need to be indexed in that particular index platform. Then only we know that that particular journal is there already. All right, so it's just matter of evidence. All right, so bila audit, okay, when it comes to we come across with audit Myra and everything, sebab audit ni, when for example they take one sample, all right, they take one sample and then they find out that dalam Scopus, why is it this publication is not there yet? Then but you already verify as index publications. We believe that maybe in between, okay, maybe these rare cases, I'm not a researcher, and maybe I'm the one who's not I'm not supposed to say this because it's not I'm not a researcher, but the thing is maybe in between process of your indexing in that particular journal, index in Scopus, kita takut nanti tak sampai. It's not something that sometimes it is not indexed. Okay, kita faham tu. Yes, we know that that particular journal is indexed, but sometimes your article couldn't make it. Itu yang kita concern kan. Okay, maybe Dr. Saiful ada kat sini? Ada tak? maybe Dr. Saiful boleh add on, tapi I believe that we receive, kita ada cases yang macam tu. That particular article did not make it. Alright, when it comes to did not make it, then benda tu tak boleh di-index. But we want to verify as index. So memang tak boleh lah. Alright, so memang actually dekat mana-mana, I am not sure with other publication system in other university, maybe other university yang accept this kind of matter, maksudnya it's just that matter of you just mention that journal is already indexed in Scopus or Web of Science is enough. But for UiTM, currently the decisions is like that. The evidence, the URLs is very, very important. Alright, so I am so sorry to say that we still cannot accept journal as an evidence to verify your publications. Definitely, you need to make sure that your article is already indexed, then only it can be verified as index publications. Okay, alright. I think this
question.
Question lain?
Ada.
Yes.
Question daripada Dr. Muhammad Sharif Muhammad Yasin. Salam Puan Ayu.
Yes.
On my Prime web page, there is no change publication category button to click on. For me to upgrade from other publication to index.
Oh, okay, tak ada button. This one like this, tak ada. Alright.
Technical part.
Okay, technical. Oh, you don't have this button, is it? Change publication type. Okay, I think because this one, okay. May I know your publication is already verified or not? Dia boleh jawab ke ni Nur? Dia boleh reply kita ke?
Dia tak reply ni.
Alright, okay. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. If you find out that there is no change publication button in your my publications, so you tak boleh nak you tak boleh revert to draft, don't worry. You just ask.
Ada button itu. Jawapan dia cakap yes, tiada button itu.
Oh, dia ada button tu, but cannot use, is it? Cannot use, it is not function, is it? The click tu tak ada apa-apa.
Ya, tiada button.
Alright, okay. Never mind. Maybe you can contact mungkin Nur boleh assist doktor to get through whatever technical things dalam ni. I think it's not
Puan Ayu, Puan Khairunisa ada inform. Okay, biasanya tiada button ni sebab status dah verified.
Okay. So what happened is if that publication is already verified, alright. So definitely lah, usually is already verified as other publication. So di sini part coordinator, Nur boleh revert to draft. Yes, right. So you just ask your respective coordinator, doctor. You may ask Puan Nur, for example, to revert the publication to you. Then only you can get the button to change types of publications. So Nur, as a coordinator, you need to revert to draft this publication. Then only doctor can get the button for change
publication. Alright.
Okay. Never mind. If you have any problems in terms of this thing, and then you may contact your respective coordinator. Kalau coordinator kurang pasti ataupun very tak sure ke apa, may refer to me, or if I'm not able to solve also, I will refer to Puan Karinisa, our technical prime lah, technical prime. And then any second opinions, any things that beyond my knowledge, beyond my expertise, definitely I will refer to whether it's Dr. Saiful and or any in RNC lah, right? So we just want to make sure that I declare dekat sini I'm not a researcher. We are not a researcher. The coordinator is not a researcher, alright? But we are the one who expert in terms of verify your publications, alright?
Yes.
So you don't have to worry because it's just not ordinary staff that verify your publications, alright? So all the coordinator is already have their trainings and everything, so they are qualified to verify your publications. Okay?
Okay,
Any
next
question?
question. Mungkin
Yes.
ada lagi soalan. Banyak soalan kita Puan Ayu hari ni.
Oh, ya ke? Alright.
Okay, dari printing. Saya dari bidang seni lukis dan seni reka. Adakah creative words boleh dimasukkan dalam Prime?
Okay, definitely. Alright. We actually any publications, alright. Maybe yang I cakap ni more to journals, proceedings, alright. So sometimes it's not fair with other faculties of other schools, right? So sometimes when it comes to any related to arts, alright. So you have your own publications, alright. Nobody can questions your publications. It's just a matter of can we accept that as publications, all right? So as you can see here, all right, so when it comes to new publication, you can click other publications, all right? So publication, all right, for example, all right, so I proceed, all right. So some of the this one is other publication, meaning it is not indexed in other index platform, right? But if it is indexed, yes, you can go directly to index. All right. So from here, you can change the publication to creative work. All right. You can go to creative work, and then you in creative work, dia akan pecahkan lagi mengikut kategori. So as you can see here, we have compilation, composition, music editing, masterpiece, transcription, translation, adaptation, documentation of what this one is more to, I think the music, I think. All right. So, okay, we try to, all right, we try to, okay, maybe you have something rather than creative work, maybe some things on electronic media, all right, magazine, exhibitions, all right, it depends, all right. So as I mentioned at the first things that I mentioned to you earlier, right? Uh, Anything that publish. And then okay, sebenarnya dulu masa sebelum saya menjadi coordinator, alright. So I ada ask to I being asked to RMC, how can I what you call macam mana saya nak pastikan ianya adalah publication? How can I define that is publications, right? So sebab tu I'm not sure. Okay, for example, kalau the arts kan, it's not that easy for us to understand whether it is published or not, right? So we have different kind of platform to publish. It is easy for other faculties, for example, engineering, very easy, straightforward. Okay, publish in proceedings, in publishing journal, but it is not the same with other creative works. All right. So creative works sometimes their place of publication is YouTube, for example. All right. So they compose the music and they publish to YouTube. All right. So we as a coordinator try to understand different types of publications actually. So we want to make sure the evidence. So the answer for doctor's questions is the evidence. You need to provide us an evidence, a solid evidence. All right. So maybe some of the publication doesn't have the ISBN, ISSN, or any registration number. We still can accept that as publication, but we need more evidence. All right. So it's not just reference to creative work, but it also can be used to other publication when it comes to you cannot provide us with the evidence of ISBN or any registration number, you need to provide us with more evidence. The URL of that website, the URL for that particular YouTube, and then one more thing. All the publications need to give impact to the faculty, to the university, and society. All right. So this is one that I need to clarify with all the researcher. All right. All your publication need to be impact. All right. So maksudnya it's not that publication like macam ada yang macam like I know some of you like ada juga yang apa ni submit to us, for example like hobbies, dia kata sometimes dia suka hobby tu, so she write something and then dia buat YouTube, and then dia ada buat macam some sort like pernah kita accept like TikTok like something like that. Oh yes, we do have we do receive that kind of registration actually, but we try to be fair to everybody. All right, to everybody. All right, to we look through all the metadata. We want to make sure that that publication definitely will give impact to the university. Back to the ni lah, kita apa sekali nawaitu kita, adakah sebelum submit tu, adakah this publication akan memberi impact kepada kerjaya you, pada faculty, pada university, pada UIDN. Alright, then only you try to register. Alright, you ask the question first before you register. Alright, so we want to make sure that sistem prime, sistem publication ni, modul publication ni menyimpan semua publication yang berkualiti. Yang berkualiti kan? Definitely we need to go for the quality first, then only the quantity. Alright. So when it comes to produce the publications in the quality one, it will attract more citations. Okay. Alright. So, nak jawab lagi question ke?
Okay, saya rasa ada lagi satu question last, mungkin last lah. Okay, daripada Amzari, adakah pihak PITA juga akan semak jika penerbitan itu adalah predatory journal? Banyak penulis yang mengambil kesempatan menggunakan predatory journal ini.
Okay, I don't expect this kind of question akan appear. Alright, so okay, when we talk about predatory journal, alright, it's very very subjective. Okay, in prime memang belum ada system that can check whether it is a predatory journal or not. Okay, since last year, I know that predatory journal ni dah a few years. Maybe yang saya tak tahu mungkin lama lagi betul kan. Right, so but starting last year when it comes to IBC pun ada, mantan VC ada mention this kind of problems, and then everybody is talk about predatory. Lepas tu ada pula a few lecturers that call me that okay, Puan Rayu, can you check my my journal ni? I am so afraid that I already registered in Prisma, is already validated by you, but I find that my friend said that this is predatory journal. I'm so disappointed and everything also. When we come to PITA, all right, so PITA actually we do not have the list, because list is something that very very dynamic. Maksudnya kalau now I can give you the 100 list of the predatory journal. Maybe dia akan like esok lusa dia akan jadi 150. So I cannot say that PITA ada that kind of thing. We do not have the list, but we can check it for you. So what we since last year memang kita ada bagi tahu semua coordinator to try to, we already identify, actually adalah kita identify a few journals yang memang dah kategori predatory journal. Actually you boleh tengok juga dekat sini, right? So dekat PITA sini, right? So actually dekat PITA kita dah ada under research, okay, scholarly and legitimate journal. Di PITA kita more, we don't want to use the word predatory actually. So we want to educate user on how to choose scholarly and legitimate journal, rather than say this is predatory journal. Alright, so we don't want that, right? So you you yourself can check, alright, the list here, alright. So we have journal, my journal, and then kita ada QS ranking 31, and then kita ada discontinued by scopus. So list-list ni yang akan selain daripada list ni, ada juga lah a few list yang ada membantu coordinator lah. But when we talk about prime itself, dia belum lagi begitu intelligence to identify predatory journal. But before you submit, if you want to ask us to check, if you want us to check, yes, we can check for you. But we cannot 100% sure whether that journal is predatory or not. Alright, but we do have lists. We do have lists that we always check. But since last year also, we already identify selalunya kalau macam journal, you kan maybe you researcher yourself, you lebih aware with this kind of publisher. Sometimes publisher, when it comes to that, you have to pay. Alright, so yeah, and then you need, before you publish, you need to check. Alright, sometimes they declare is already indexed in Scopus. Yes, we must say that we need to accept lah, sometimes maybe ada juga lah yang di Scopus, Web of Science dan sebagainya. It's everywhere actually. It's just that you just need to before you publish, you need to check with that particular ni lah. You do the background check first. Okay, macam dekat sini dekat predatory ni kita ada ni lah a guide for researcher. The step that you need to take before you try to publish to any publisher. Alright, so kalau tengok dekat sini adalah kita educate researcher. Right, because we don't have, kalau you talk about system prime, orang belum ada untuk system tracking. So it's just that matter of coordinators punya orang kata knowledge to check whether this is predatory or not. Alright, so usually yang I identify last year, yang ada a few lecturer lah yang macam they have to pay a lot for that particular journal, and then bila I buka that website, dia terus kata index by index in Scopus, but it is not index in Scopus pun. Alright, so that kind of information will lead to decisions of not verify that publication as index publications, for example. Alright, so usually we contact to that particular researcher to do some background checks about the journal. Okay, right. Okay, I think I hope I answered the questions. I am so sorry if I'm not that expert in identify the predatory journal, because the listing is going on and on and on and on, right? We cannot say that today it is not predatory, next month is predatory. We cannot say that, because in fact of Scopus also, every single month they will come out with the discontinued Scopus. Discontinued Scopus, it involves so many reasons, so many things. For example, like it is not consistent in publishing, and then the content, the quality of that particular article that published in that journal is not there yet. All right, and then so many reasons actually. All right, you may check the list of discontinued Scopus, right? Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
thank you Puan Ayu atas penerangan, atas jawapan yang diberikan atas soalan-soalan yang diajukan sebentar tadi. Okey, sekiranya ada apa-apa soalan ataupun pertanyaan selepas daripada sesi taklimat ini, okey, tuan-puan boleh berhubung dengan koordinator masing-masing lah di kampus yang terlibat. Okey, mungkin di layar sedang tunjukkan untuk poster siapa koordinator yang terlibat. Sebentar, pihak teknikal tengah. Okey. Puan Ayu boleh stop sharing. Okey, tuan-puan boleh berhubung dengan koordinator yang terlibat di kampus lah. Seperti kalau di Puncak Alam, saya dan juga Encik Arsyad. Okey, yang menguruskan untuk validasi penerbitan di Prime ini. Manakala di Puncak Perdana, saya juga cover. Okey, dan di Sungai Buloh, Encik Adi. Okey, Encik Adi Azri. Manakala di CAPS ataupun Kompleks Alam Bina oleh Puan Nurliza dan Dengkil Cik Nurdiana Tukijo. Okay, alright. So seterusnya, okay, dengan berakhirnya sesi soal jawab tadi, okay, maka berakhirlah sesi taklimat kita hari ini. Diharap agar taklimat ini sedikit sebanyak dapat membantu para penyelidik di UiTM supaya dapat menggunakan sistem Prime dengan sebaiknya. Okey, terima kasih kepada Puan Siti Rahayu di atas perkongsian sangat jelas itu tadi. Tim teknikal yang bertugas di belakang tabir dan semua penonton yang mengikuti taklimat ini. Jangan lupa scan QR code yang dipaparkan atau isikan link kehadiran yang disertakan di ruangan komen. Oleh itu, sekian sahaja daripada saya, Puan Nur Fatihah binti Muhammad, dan di kesempatan ini juga saya ingin mengucapkan selamat menyambut Ramadan Al-Mubarak dan sehingga berjumpa lagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Puan Ayu. Assalamualaikum.
Sama-sama. Assalamualaikum. Jumpa lagi semua.